Shar Ryland, ko hikurangi te manga, ko ai Punsiawa. I'm from Rua and Tokomaru Bay. I am a nurse. I'm a registered nurse. I've been a nurse for 5 years now, and that's something that I'm really passionate about. And you can say that I started because, you know, my nan, who is very important in my life, I could see her journey through a health system that wasn't designed for her. There were a lot of cracks that she fell through, and so she died at quite a young age. So it was my goal, I guess, to work my way there, just to api whānau along the journey.
I love that.
Yeah.
And all of our years of friendship, I still have not heard you explain it like that. So I'm so happy to be hearing that kōrero from you, and just want to give you a congratulations as well, because you got your last, you did your last exam on Wednesday. Congratulations.
Thank you. That was a journey in itself.
Yeah, so what is this exam, and tell us a little bit about your study. So we finished studying, starting studying, tell us.
Yeah, so straight on from my Bachelor of Nursing, I did my postgraduate dip, and then I went on to do my nurse prescribing practicum, which is a 6-month-long practicum with a supervising doctor. So it's a pathway for me to be able to prescribe. So I passed that whole paper with a 97.25.
Get it!
So happy, because it was one of the most challenging papers of my life. But definitely glad that I got there, and so I'm able to help with continuity of care. I'm able to take some stress away from our GPs, who are just overwhelmed at the moment, but also I'm able to extend my area of knowledge and work with really supportive doctors.
How do you build trust in the community and keep your cups full as a health professional and as a māmā? What do you think some tips are around building trust?
Building that with the whānau. So I have two lenses where I can see that from, like now, like biased on the nurse side, but also I can put myself to a time, you know, back in my younger days where there was that mistrust, and there was that mistrust in our whānau, with our healthcare provider at that time, and those are the things that I'm seeing change over my time of nursing. But it really does, for me, start at a grassroots level. So we're seeing now doctors, you know, we saw Dr. Sean Pocock come yesterday, take his time and just really help for a collaborative cause. So he's really passionate, and that just shines through, I think, and you feel that passion. But equally, it's that continuity of care. It's those conversations. It's that we're not just treating the cut in a person, we're treating the whole person. It's involving whānau. And I think we've had some beautiful medical students, Māori medical students, come through, and they really hold all of those qualities that I want to see. But I think that's like, I could be here for hours talking about that too, yeah?
Now, just to pick up on continuity, what does this mean? There might be whānau who don't know what that means, but even in a professional sense, what does that look like? How do we promote continuity? How can we action it?
Yeah, so in primary care, in the particular practice that I work for, well, that's one of our core values. So that's, you're not coming to the doctor and you're not seeing a new doctor every time, and you have to explain again and again about what you're there for or your history. So with our doctors, you know, they've seen their patients for the past 10, 15 years. They're treating their parents, the grandparents, now they're treating the babies, and so they know your medical history when you walk in as such. So it's about building that rapport, building that trust. And I know some other providers, I can only speak on the providers that I work for, they're very well supported. You know, there are others that maybe you don't get to see the same doctor, maybe it's a locum doctor, so it's really hard to build that trust. But again, it does start with our grassroots. Just the little things in the community can help, just in little increments, build that trust too.
Yeah. What is that? So we're talking about the little increments in the community, and I just reflect on your kōrero you shared with your nanny, and maybe her passing before she needed to, or something that was totally preventable.
Yes.
What things do you think could have been done in the community that led to a stronger system? And was she lacking trust? Is that what happened?
I think lacking trust and maybe a little bit of health literacy. I think my nan came from a time where you know, you just agree with the doctor, or you say, oh yeah, okay, they said it's okay, so I don't need to go back. So just lacking that knowledge that, oh, if it's not getting better, maybe you should present a little bit sooner as well. So it is that health literacy. It is that, you know, yearly health checks are important. I find people will just go to the doctor, and it does make sense, like when you're sick, right? But it's also really good to sort of get those warranted fitnesses, is what we call them, like just go in for your yearly checkups, you know, go in for your regular bloods, your CVD bloods, check your cardiovascular disease risk, Māori, very important. So it's just those little things that you can do as well.
Yeah, to add to managing
your own health. Yeah, just to take a little bit of accountability as well.
Oh, nice. What do you think are some things that you've seen in your practice? So from your experience, we're not talking about this as a blanket experience all across health professions in different areas. Yeah. But in your experience, what has been a picture perfect scenario of a trusted relationship from the community and the health providers? Yeah,
like an interaction as such?
Yes, interactions or any kind of systems, any processes. I like your kōrero about like a warrant of fitness.
Yeah.
Can we maybe flesh that out a little bit? What would this look like for a person getting a warrant of fitness?
Yeah, so all you need to do is make an appointment with your doctor. Say that you're just coming in for your yearly checkup. As Māori people, we like to do a cardiovascular disease risk if you're within the age range. And so we do, you know, some basic blood tests as well, and it really gives us a good base as to where you are. So when we do this cardiovascular disease risk assessment, every few years we can see if any levels have changed.
And that's it, eh? It's just keeping track of any changes over the years.
Yeah, but the thing is, if people don't know, you don't know. So probably prior to me being a nurse, I didn't know that that was something that you could do. And so, you know, when I get patients and I'm like, especially Māori, you know, young Māori men, I'm like, tell your mates, come in, get their checkup.
Yes. I didn't hear about it until, or I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
Until you mentioned it. You talked about that, and I wondered, what's this? And you told me, this is a long time ago.
Yeah.
Something about, you know, you can check for diabetes or check how people's health are, maybe their feet or something to do with that. So it's all that kind of encompassing care, eh?
Yeah, and putting it out there that there are these, you know, services that you can access.
Promoting all of the ways that we can look after ourselves.
Yeah, that's it. And then we understand that there is barriers in place. You know, there's costs, transportation. We know some of our whānau work long days. They might be out in the fields. They can't come to the clinic between Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. And that's why I have a lot of respect for Pūhikaiti that have opened their doors up on the weekend for whānau if they're sick. So they're not in A&E waiting for a long period of time. But I guess it's a work in progress. But yeah, we'll see where that leads in the future.
I really, really want to give a shout out to Pūhikaiti, because I just think, man, that is an informed practice. That opening the weekends, you're listening to your people. We are working from Monday to Friday when the clinic's open. We can't take days off just to check on our throat, even though sore throats matter. Oh my gosh, is that a slogan? Sorry.
No, because they do. They do. Swab your kids' sore throats. I always tell my patients.
Yeah. So huge shout out to Pūhikaiti. But also that reach is huge. That reach is huge. They've gone all the way around the coast, you know?
Yeah.
So for that, is it an iwi provider? Iwi health provider?
Yeah.
To be able to service that huge area.
Yeah, that's a huge demographic.
Yes.
Over a lot of rural, it's a really...
Yeah.
I take my hat off to our rural nurses out there as well. Yeah.
Now, I want to have a little comparison.
Yeah.
And a little bit of, I'm hoping you can, I'm putting you on the spot. Think of an experience that you have had personally about how you've built trust personally.
Yeah.
And then do you think, if we're comparing your experience to those of in rural health, what are the similarities?
I think rural nurses have an incredibly hard job. They often, work alone. They're very rural if you think how far, right out to far. If they're doing home visits, hospice cares as well. So there is those nurses have huge hearts. I don't even think we could compare to the amount of work that they do with the amount of resources they have, to be honest.
Yeah. They're like magicians, eh?
They are magicians.
Yeah, they're pulling everything out of the bag.
Yeah, everything and anything.
Yeah. When we're talking about how they service their communities and how they come up with all these magic tricks to make things happen.
Yeah.
What does it look like for you, for Shar, building trust with your clientele, is it called?
Patients.
Patients, yeah.
Yeah.
Patients.
It starts with pronouncing our whānau names right. It's really not that hard just to take that time to go out and sort of greet them. Ask somebody if you don't know how to pronounce a certain name. I think there was actually a study done on that, and that was one of the key areas that said that helps build trust. Something as simple as that. Yes.
I love that. And for our ingoa Māori, it does mean a lot. It's not just a word, there's whakapapa to it. And I love that you've tabled that, just saying our names.
Yeah.
Saying our names correctly, trying to. We've had Dr. Sean Pocock on the podcast, and he was in another episode, and he comes out and he kōrero Māori in the start. Put in time, effort, care, thoughtfulness into just him as a being, and no doubt it benefits the patients and him, because he's just locking in, with his community that he's serving.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I'm so happy you brought that up, and you got the research to back it up too.
Yeah, and you're right, it does build that trust. Even when I watched it and when I showed my whānau that video, they were blown away by that, and that does immediately, you're drawn to that person.
Yes.
Like you feel that sense of trust.
Yes. So we're promoting that. It can be in a name, in how, if you wish to do a pepeha and you're non-Māori, all of that can really help build the trust. And it lifts the statistics.
Yes.
Now on statistics, we've got pretty poor statistics at the moment. We've got a measles outbreak. What can we do? What do you think we can do to build the trust around this area? What have you seen as a nurse be put in practice, and as a māmā? How can we do that to lift our statistics?
Well, interestingly enough, I did take my girls to the vaccination drive on the weekend that Puhi Kaiti had, and that was good. It was after hours, I'm not working, the girls are able to come. Friendly staff were welcomed into reception, my whole whānau were welcomed into the consultation room. Our nurse Lydia explained everything beautifully. She articulated really well to 12 and 13-year-old girls, and they really enjoyed it. They walked away from that, we walked away from that, they were happy, they were fine. They went to netball trials the next day. So just setting this thing like that, I think those opportunities, those vaccine drives as well, having kōrero like this too, I think it just starts the conversation. So if people have questions, they can reach out to us.
And I love that we've circled back to your girls. They got their HPV vaccinations, amazing. You're doing such a great job as a māmā. They had kōrero because we were asking them questions. And what's cool is it's the only vaccine that immunises against a cancer here in New Zealand, so that's amazing. And it's good kōrero to have, to know, to share.
Absolutely.
how did you prepare them? What kind of kōrero were you having at home? Because they were so comfortable.
Yeah, so any time there's a medical procedure as such, or if they're to start a new medication, or with immunisations, I like to give them get informed consent. So I'm not saying get there now. I'm saying, okay, this is what we're protecting against. So I have like a medical book, and I have photos of healthy cervixes, and I have photos of some with some cancer cells on it, and I'm educating the girls like, this is what could happen, this is what our HPV vaccination can help protect against. Like, what would you like to do? Oh yeah, Mum, we want to get vaccinated. So it's that informed consent and that kōrero behind it too, I reckon.
Yeah. How do we activate more whānau to get in those spaces? Is it coming to get the information? What is it? If we just theorise, what could help other māmā and other families get more health literacy around what's happening in our world?
Yeah, it can be tricky sometimes because there's a lot of information from anybody. It can be from Uncle Tom down the road who's posting stuff on Facebook, or it can be like literature, medical research. So it's just really knowing where you're reading this research from and just getting informed. I was reading about and I should have a look on my phone, her name came up on my page, but she died of cervical cancer at a really young age. So there's a social media page on Māori Wahine, and their whānau are like just pushing for outreach, for education, to smear your mea and to get your HPV vaccination. If you're under 27, it's free.
Yeah.
So it's that not knowing as well. So, I know that I didn't get an HPV vaccination. I was eligible for it, didn't know about it. Yeah. So it's just really pushing information.
Because they're just letters that come up and we have nothing else to go with. To go from.
Yeah. Opportunistically, when I see under 27s and they've popped up, and I always check the immunisation status. Even have your HPV, this is for men, genital warts, things like that. Yes, they want to be vaccinated. So it's really just having that conversation, right? Yeah, yes.
This is where power can sit.
Yeah.
But it's not. No, power's the wrong word. Or is it power?
I think it could be power.
Yeah,
just
power to make
information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To make your decision, because you have the power to decide what your health looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I find my role in this is just to provide you with that information. Even if you've come in for a cough, I see there's a vaccine, I'm just going to have that conversation. It's not to force my opinion on you, it's just to give you the information to make your choice about being immunised. And a lot of time I do find women, it just slips through the cracks, they've forgotten, and they're happy to have that opportunistic conversation because we can do it right there and then. Yeah.
And before we end, what do you do personally and in your profession to be a trusted healthcare professional?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Tia.
Is it? You've said heaps of great stuff.
Yeah.
You've already got it in the bag. If it wasn't already clear, what would be the thing that would punch it home that you do that obviously makes you a trusted health professional?
It really is just building that rapport with your patients from the get-go, as soon as you go out to that waiting room to greet them. And I remember like funny little things about my patients. They went to their moko's first birthday last month, so I asked them, how was your moko's birthday? And they're quite impressed, I should say, that I do remember those things, but I do remember those things. It's just in the way that you talk to your patients. I feel like they can feel ahu about you, whether it's just like something transactional or whether it's something like in your heart, like you're there for the right reasons. And I think it's really hard to articulate or explain, but taking it back to Dr. Sean Pocock, like you can feel that he's really there for the passion of what he does. And I can talk from experience too, because he was my obstetrician when I was pregnant. So definitely, at a grassroots level, just those small conversations. And you're always there. People do come for checkups, but they usually come on the sickest days of their life, on the baddest days of their life, really. And so you are that shoulder for them to lean on too, and sometimes.
That sounds like empathetic healthcare. Now, before we end off, have you got any last words?
Probably that us as Māori Women Welfare League members, like we're all here voluntarily, so we're not getting big paychecks in our pocket, like we're here out of ape, and we're here out of a genuine need to help our community. So our hearts are all in the right place, and if people have any questions, we're really approachable, whether they approach us at the rugby park or at the Neti portal courts, or if they send us a message on social media, because sometimes just having those familiar faces makes people feel a little bit more at ease.
Well, thank you.
Okay, thank you.